Okay, coming to the back garden bed, there's just a variety of perennials. Buttercups, forget-me-nots, lots of bee balm.
Money plant, got some ferns here. This is our little shelf greenhouse we've been using to harden things off for this year. We're going into the new sheet mulching now, and we got some interesting stuff coming up here that we just planted as a seed mix. Got lots of echinacea coming up.
We got a bleeding heart in the corner. There's lots of turnips and radishes that are small seedlings coming up in the back.
And we have this new sheet mulching that we just did last week here. And then coming to the south facing side of the house here, we have the vascular system network of paths. Is the ultimate design the whole zone 1 is going to be designed in. We have that right here. We have our tomatoes and some other plants.
There's radishes and carrots spread out throughout the entire area of sheet mulching, along with some clover. So that is hopefully going to take the place of grass, and we won't have to do much with the grass this year. And the back was the original garden that was along the side of the property. There's some peonies. We have a kiwi coming up the side of the deck here.
Got some daylilies, which are a great edible.
There's some bittersweet nightshade that climbs up the front of the porch here,
which is an excellent medicinal plant. Got some more violets going on.
There's snow on the mountain throughout. We have some wild variety of flowers throughout there. There's a variety of sweet William or wild sweet Williams in the back there.
Yeah, and we have a lot of black-eyed Susans coming up.
And there are some echinaceas that come out through here as well.
All right, so we're full circle around the house. Let's go this way from the fedge here. Got an apple tree.
This is another wine sap.
We got lots of jewelweed. We got lots of good compost plants. We have asparagus.
We do have,
lots
you
of
can
strawberries.
see the strawberries. Also around the plants, you can't hardly see them now, but there is garlic that's around all the apple plants.
Yeah, this is a fairly dense polyculture here. Got some more asparagus coming up. It won't be until next year when we actually start harvesting it, but it should produce a lot. Got some more comfrey. This is a cherry.
And we might actually get some cherries for the first time this year. That is been there for 3 years now.
And I believe that's a golden delicious apple, isn't it?
That is a golden delicious apple. We have some volunteer plants here, and actually I think that's a rapini.
Yep, that's a type of rapini there. And
we have lots of violets.
We have this right here, which
this is an apricot tree.
Okay, that's right. This is a peach tree, another one. Got some more asparagus coming up there and there. More comfrey. Can't have too much comfrey if you have the space for it. And the ground cover mix that is coming up here is actually pretty cool. It's mostly violets. And that's a good plant to have coming up for a ground cover like that. Then we have some perennial beneficial insect attractors and ornamentals planted through here that will be coming up shortly. We have this stuff right here, which is a medicinal plant called skullcap, and it's basically a muscle relaxant that's about as powerful as some of the prescription ones you can buy, and it is completely able to be had without a permission slip. And we have some yarrow here, which is a medicinal plant that has a lot of uses, and one of the uses is to topically treat wounds.
It's an antiseptic.
And we've had success using it from everything from rabbit wounds to human wounds. And it was traditionally used in battlefield medicine in antiquity, and that's why the Latin name is Achilles milleflori, after Achilles, the legend of Achilles. Okay, so we have some real fertility issues here. You can see this asparagus is really pathetic. It has to do with the allotropic nature of the pine tree, and it has to do with the blocking the southerly solar aspect here. We have these plants here,
which are actually replacements for some of the seedlings we had lost for various reasons, that we wanted to add a few things to our, from a local greenhouse, to our garden this year.
Okay, and here is our massive elderberry that when we transplanted it here was about 1.5 feet tall, and it's going to be loaded this year with elderberries.
There's lots of little saplings from it coming up, and they're really easy if you dig down and cut the root where the sapling shoot is coming up. You can actually transplant that quite easy to another part of your yard. And if you look down there, that is what I have done from this original elderberry plant.
All right, well, let's go look at this really quick here. This is an experiment we're doing this year along with the new sheet mulching. This is a multi-tiered tire garden. These are tractor trailer talk tires, and it is a wood core. There is very well rotted wood at the base of, in the first tire there, and there's a soil mix on top of that. These other tires around here are just standard tire beds, and we like the flower-like design that it makes, and it's also pretty convenient path-wise. And what we have growing in here is a really interesting plant. It is, let's see, there it is. It's a Apis americana groundnut. It is one of the staple foods that was used by a lot of American Indian tribes, and this is a variety that was actually bred at Louisiana State University to be a cultivated crop. So it actually is supposed to produce rather large tubers. It's in the pea family, but it grows tubers like potatoes, and they come in a string almost like a necklace, and they can get to be about the size of a small potato. And that's one thing that we're trying to get going here. We have it planted a lot of other places, and we want to be able to use surplus from this to help other people get started growing it. It's high protein, and it's a nitrogen fixer. It is also said to be invasive when you plant it in a place that it likes. So it's free food that keeps multiplying that's high protein. You can't go wrong with that.
And we have planted some of the seeds along the fence line too.
Yes, and some of the margins of our other zones have some planted as well. Okay, this is actually going to have a low tunnel over it for winter gardening, but in the summer here we're growing tomatoes in it. It's your basic tire bed system, and the same thing with this. This path here is basically the main path that I take to get the mail and just kind of check things out. So it makes a lot of sense to have these intensive beds here, because I walk through here every day and I can take a look at what's going on, and it doesn't cost me any extra time to do so. And I can also harvest for food very easily this way.
Right now what's going on here is there are some petunias set in here. They're very good insect repellent. You can actually take off the dried flowers and mix it with water and spray on plants too if you were dire straits trying to get rid of a pesky bug. On the other side of the tires here, I will actually plant nasturtiums, and nasturtiums are actually good too for pest control, and they're delicious to put in your salad. And we might see, I might add a few carrots in some of these beds too.
All right, now we'll go to a whole other vein. Over here, we don't have the path set up right here yet, but this will basically be in another vein of the design. You can picture a vascular system of a leaf laid down on top of the yard here. And we have some blueberries that have been donated by some friends that needed to find homes for them. And they will basically add to our blueberry harvest. We don't really plan on doing anything to keep the birds from these ones. And maybe these ones will make the birds not try so hard to get the ones we actually have covered.
We have some daylilies through here and some spearmint as well.
Okay. This is the foundation for the aquaponics greenhouse we're building. We're using the Harbor Freight 10 by 12 greenhouse kit as the basic foundation, and we're improving it and strengthening it. There's a lot of resources online on how to do that, and we're going to be making an aquaponics system in it with whatever materials that we can find. I haven't been able to find any IBCs. It's probably going to end up being a barrelponics system with maybe some using a couple plastic stock tanks as a type of sump. But that's my hole. That's where a lot of the fill for all these raised bed projects came. Luckily the topsoil here was a little bit deeper than a foot, so it was all actually pretty decent by the time you amended it with other things.